Hello, and welcome to the MAC Unit Leader Update. My name is Chris Mahaffey, and I have the honor of being your Scout Executive. Today I'd like to take just a few minutes and talk about some important information we've received in the last few days, so hang in there with me. First of all, rechartering. We know that rechartering happens at the end of the year. Most of us have already set our unit leader budgets. I know my pack and my troop have, and we know what membership registration fees are going to look like to the national organization. We received information this week that the national organization is going to need to raise membership fees to them. This comes at a pretty rough time for us as unit leaders and for us as staff at the local council, but it's important for the national office to make sure that they can continue to support scouting nationwide. The tough part for unit leaders is we won't know how much the fee is going to be raised to until the end of October. So we ask that you bear with us and keep in mind that the national office has gone through a great deal of press this past year, and they're working through some financial stuff, and that we need to support them the best way that we can. So be patient with us, and we will get you the fee increase at the end of October. Also, there's going to be a new disclosure form emailed out to every registered adult leader. Your unit may not recharter until every registered adult signs the disclosure form. If you have a unit leader that doesn't receive one, or a parent that doesn't receive one and they're on your charter, then we will have those for you on our council website, and your local district executive will have those and be willing to come go through those and get the signature. We need the signature page back for every registered adult volunteer in order for your unit to recharter. This is kind of like youth protection. Background checks now are mandatory every 5 years in some states. So as a national organization, we're following suit. So we will run national and county criminal background checks every 5 years for all volunteers. Thanks for understanding that this is part of keeping our children safe in scouting, and thank you for ahead of time for complying. Let's also talk about what we're doing to help with registration, since registration fees are going to go up, yet we don't know how much. Don't forget that one reason we raise Friends of Scouting dollars, or investment in character dollars, here in the Mid-America Council are to help ensure that every kid can afford scouting. Our strategic plan that our board has had a focus on the last 2 years, really one of those pillars is ensuring that the sustainability, financial sustainability of the local council, and that we keep scouting affordable for families. So in keeping with that pillar of the strategic plan, in 2020, Jubilee fees will drop from $33 to $25 per person, so that a family of 4 can come and enjoy a full weekend out at Mahoney State Park for a much more reasonable fee. If you go to, or when you go, hopefully, to Camp Cedars this summer, you'll notice that there will be some discounts for families that have multiple kids and give to scouting through ICC, as well as sell popcorn, so that your child can go to camp for a lesser fee. That also is incorporated into the resident camp for Cub Scouts as well. There are discounts for both of those for resident camp. Also, for our NYLT kids that are looking for youth leadership, that's the same as Wood Badge for adults. We're going to offer 4 courses next year, and I'm happy to say that fee is the same as it will be or was in 2017, we hope. So we're doing things that we know that we can do to help offset some of the cost. We know your budgets are going to be impacted by this national registration fee, and we'd ask that you be patient and help us as we prepare to help make sure we're supporting the national organization and make sure we keep kids engaged here locally. One last thing that you can help us with in the local council is that I know you've seen the bad press that the national organization has received the last few months. We cannot buy a news story here locally on the good things that scouting is doing. So the only thing that we can do is bombard the press with the good news of what we're doing in our 58 counties. So help me, if you've got a Cub Scout service project that's coming up, send us a note ahead of time to the email address here. Let us know that's coming up 10 days ahead of time so that we can do a press release and see if we can get somebody to come out. If you've got an Eagle Scout that's going to work on an Eagle Scout project in the outdoors, and you know it's going to make a big difference in your community, make sure you let us know at the email address listed so that we can write a press release and see if we can get some local press there. If you've got a great relationship with somebody in your local press, go ahead and submit those stories and see if you can get them to run. And make sure you share them with us. The more that we can show our local media the good things that Scouting is doing, then the better off that we will be long term with them being willing to reach out to us when there is a negative news story and get our side on it. And you don't have to wait for us. That's the great thing. If you've got a PAC Facebook page or a Troop Facebook page or other social media channels, make sure you hashtag Scouting Matters in that post and you tag the Mid-America Council. That way we can make sure that we acknowledge that and then pass that story on to those in the community and in the press to try to get them to pick up on it as well. We know you do a lot for Scouting. As a father and a unit leader, I realize what Scouting asks of our volunteers, and I'm eternally grateful for what you do. If you've got questions or concerns about what we've talked about or what I've talked about in the video today, make sure you send them to mac@scouting.org, and I will make sure that you get an answer or that we address your concerns. Thanks for what you do, and we'll see you along the Scouting trail.